Okay, so now I'm going to make the hardest part, but the coolest part of this thing. It is the part that goes under the genre. It is the types of traditional literature. So this is like a little mini book. And so when you open it up, it has the different types. And there's 6 here. So there's 3 on top, 3 on bottom. Or in the video, they're like you flip. Okay. And the cool part is on the cover here, there are moving parts. So it says, why are these stories passed down through generations? You pull it, to teach a lesson. And to explain the reason for something. Okay, so this has a lot of steps. So go at your own pace, pause it if you need to. So the first step in this, you're going to have the papers with all the different, there's this paper, the arrows, which may or may not be on cardstock, and these. So just like the other ones, color them first. Don't worry about coloring this one. Don't color this one because this is the one we glue onto. So don't waste your time with that one, but you can color all these nice. Just don't make it so you can't read the words. So go ahead and color all of these. And while you're at it, this is going to be the front of the book. This is the back. Don't color this. This will just be a waste of time. But you can color this. You can also color the arrows. In my book, the arrows and then this little like sticker down here. My arrows, I wanted to have the part that you pull to be like a different color. So it's like, oh, there it's red and then, oh, so you could do that. But these are the arrows, these things. The arrow goes inside, and we'll do that in the next one. So for right now, just color them. Color all these pieces, and you can cut these out. On here, just cut out these in big rectangle. 1 big rectangle, 2 big rectangle, and 3 big rectangle. Don't cut the little pieces, just big rectangles here. This one, you can cut out the arrows and the little sticker. Here, just cut out big rectangle. Okay, so we'll pick up there. Go ahead and do that. Okay, so I have them all cut out. I've got this rectangle, 3 rectangles here, big ones. I have the arrows cut out, and I colored the tips of those. Just pretend these are colored for time's sake. I'm not going to color all these. So that's great. This next part is a little bit tricky. So this front cover here, you're going to fold it in half on this line here. So when you fold it in half, you have to be really, try to be as precise as you can, and make a nice crease. And you'll see here when you do that, you can see those little dark rectangles that are there. Okay. You're going to take your scissors, and you have to be really careful here because if you do this too big, then the arrow will fall out and it won't work. Okay. So you just have to be very, just like the tiniest little cut there, like tiny, tiny, tiny. Okay. And then tiny, tiny, tiny on this side. And then turn it and give it a little snip. It can be slightly wider than the one that's on there, but try not to do it that much wider. If you need somebody to help you at this part, this would be a good part to get help. So I do the sides first, just tiny, and then a tiny one like that. Okay. If it's too small, then it won't work either. So just try to make it so that like when you open it, you can see it's kind of like the size of the original dark rectangles. Okay. But then you can leave it closed. Okay. So that's a tricky part. Get help with that if you need it. So where do we go from there? Now around the whole perimeter, you're going to put glue, but you need to be very careful not to do it too far in, just really around the edges, and don't close it yet. So do the perimeter. Where's my glue? There it is. Jeez. Okay. Glue there around the whole perimeter, the whole outside edge. Okay. Like this. It's just a very thin stripe. Don't close it yet because we need to get those arrows in there. So the arrows, while it's open like this, we want the arrows to come out like this, and we don't want it to be upside down or anything. So make sure when you put it in there, you're putting it in, so you kind of stick it from the back here. You stick it in there like that. If it doesn't slide easily through there, then you might need to trim it a little bit to make it slide easily. It should slide easily. So slide it in like that and leave it kind of hanging like that. Okay, so that's the first arrow. Do that to the second arrow. Make sure it's going in the right way like this. It should slide pretty easy. Don't have it like that, because if it's touching the glue when you close it, then you're going to close it and it's going to glue the arrow in there. So make sure you stick it in there and the arrow is not touching the outside edge here. Okay, so be really careful. You can even pull the arrows almost all the way through. That might be helpful, like this. Pull them almost all the way through like that. Okay, and then carefully close, and the glue around the perimeter should be squished down. And then it's like this. I would wait for it to be totally dry around the outside before you start really doing it a lot. But it's gonna be like that. Okay, so once you do that, that front panel I would let dry for a few minutes. While you're doing that, you've got these 3 rectangles here. This one is the one that glues right into the flap, and it goes right under the genre side here. Okay, so you're going to glue around the perimeter, and you're going to put it right onto the flap. All right, and push it down. Mine's all crooked. That's awesome. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. So it's glued in there. Now we have these 2 here. Okay, yours should probably be colored. I would put the ones we're most familiar with. These are the 3 that we talked about the most. Fables and folk tales we really focused on. Fairy tales, legends, tall tales, and myths. We talked about them, but wasn't a huge focus. So I would prefer if these were on top, because we're just more familiar, but I guess it doesn't really matter. You're only going to cut one of them. Okay, so the one that's going to be on the bottom, you're not going to cut at all. Okay, all you are going to do with this one is the side that is going to be the left side here, this side. You're going to put a little strip of glue down that side, down this side here. So a little strip of glue. Okay, so see how little that is. Okay, actually, what am I talking about? No, this whole thing can be glued down. Craziness, Wallace. Just glue the whole thing down. Yeah, glue the whole thing down, and it goes on top of what you already have on there. Okay, that's just kind of so you know where to put it. Okay, so there it is. It's glued on there. The next piece, though, it gets kind of tricky. So if you don't listen, it's going to get messed up. Okay, those lines in between, you're going to cut, but you're not going to cut all the way across. Do not cut all the way across. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to cut, but you're going to leave that much, almost a whole pinch of your finger, your fingernails. I stopped cutting there. Okay, don't go too close to the edge or else it will rip. Okay, so go like that. Okay, then you're going to take the part where you didn't cut up here, and you're going to put the strip of glue. Okay, so I've got the strip of glue on where I didn't cut it. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it on top of here. So that it opens up like this. Okay. Then with this piece, you can either staple it or on this side, put a strip of glue and then put it down on top. So it'll be like that. Okay. Yay.